Welcome back. Today we're doing a deep dive into the world of online shopping scams.
Right.
We've gone through a lot of sources, including a really detailed review of a fake site, Lindywel.com, and we've boiled it all down into a practical checklist. The idea is to arm you with what you need to spot fraud before you pull out your credit card.
That's absolutely the goal. We're trying to move past that generic advice, shop safely.
Right.
We're looking at the actual evidence, the specific behavioral and visual red flags these sites use. The goal is just actionable knowledge.
Okay, let's unpack this then. So the first step is what? An identity check.
Yeah.
How do you even know if a brand is real?
The biggest clue, really, is a total lack of external visibility. It's the hallmark of what's called a synthetic identity.
Synthetic identity. So they didn't just steal a name, they made one up.
Exactly. Made it up from scratch, complete with fake reviews. So if you search for the brand on Google or Instagram and you find nothing,
Just avoid.
just avoid. That is immediately suspicious.
But hold on. What about a legitimate new startup? A brand that just hasn't built up a huge following yet.
That's a great question. A real startup will still have, clear founders, an About Us page with a real story. They'll have contact info that works, legal documents. A synthetic identity just copies the bare minimum for a website. They can't fake that deep history.
That makes sense. And you mentioned reviews. That's a big one.
Oh, huge.
You have to look for verifiable proof, real user photos, maybe an unboxing video on another platform.
Right. If all the reviews are just glowing, 5 stars, and use this perfect generic English.
Great product. Highly recommend.
Yes, that's a synthetic identity. And you have to check the legal stuff.
In the footer of the site.
Yep. Scroll all the way down.
Okay.
If there's no company name, no terms and conditions, it signals they see the site as completely disposable.
Okay, this next part is where I think a lot of people get caught. The moment you're about to click buy, the visual and pricing clues.
Yes. You have to zoom in on the product images.
Really get in there.
Get right in there. You're looking for stolen images, maybe a tiny hidden watermark from another brand, or a brand tag they forgot to edit out.
So the product doesn't even exist. They're just drop shipping something else.
Or nothing at all. In that Lindywel case study, the images were clearly swiped from like 4 different high-end retailers. It was obvious.
And what about the price that goes with that stolen image? I feel like that's the real trap.
It is. It's deliberate. Watch for that weirdly consistent pricing. Everything is exactly $29.99 or $59.99.
I've seen that.
It's a psychological trick. It's a microtransaction, low enough that you think, what's the risk? It's cheap enough to gamble on.
If a deal seems too good to be true.
It absolutely is. And don't believe any grand delivery promises without clear info on warehouses or couriers. It's just not happening.
Okay, last up, a quick technical audit.
This one's fast. Check for the SSL padlock in your browser's address bar. If it says not secure,
You leave immediately.
immediately. It's non-negotiable. It's basic data security.
And the site performance itself can be a tell, right?
Definitely. A lot of these scam sites are just glitchy, they're rushed, low-budget builds, and they often break completely on a mobile phone.
And the checkout process.
Watch it very, very closely. If it rushes you to pay or redirects you to some weird unknown payment page, the whole thing is sketchy.
So you can use a domain lookup tool too.
Yeah, a quick search. If the site is, 2 months old with 0 history, you can't trust it.
So if we boil all this down, the checklist is really 2 big questions. Can I find this brand anywhere credible outside their own website? And can I see real, verifiable customers talking about them?
That's it. So what does this all mean, really? I think the deeper implication is that critical thinking about a digital identity is now essential for every single thing we do online.
You have to verify the story before you trust it.
You really do.
Which leaves me with a final thought for you to chew on. If a company can fake an entire store so easily, what does that say about the other digital identities you interact with every day? Stay curious and stay safe.